From the heart of Seoul, downtown Seoul here in South Korea, welcome to Exclusive with Taghreed Hussein here on Nile TV International. The inhabitants here of South Korea welcome visitors with a smile, so friendly, so cozy atmosphere. However, it's like Cairo, no sleeping nights here, and it's full of life, full of vitality, full of optimism. To welcome Seoul, welcoming you all here in Seoul, South Korea, with the beauty of the atmosphere, the decent, loving people, and also the treasures that you could see here, history as well as traditions. South Korea is an extraordinary country filled with beautiful beaches, thriving cities, ancient temples, remarkable natural scenery, and most importantly, friendly people. Explore the beauty of Seoul, the capital of South Korea, where the past, the present, as well as the future can be found here. As you can see in the background, the beautiful royal palaces. This in addition also to the magnificent landscapes that are all harmonious. As we speak, we can find lots of tours coming to this beautiful palace with the traditional royal dresses in order to encounter the past and also to look forward for the future. South Korea is very much well known for the beautiful and magnificent royal palaces, and among them this magnificent palace, Gyeongbokgung, and this is a beautiful palace where the king has lived here and also worked from here more than 600 years ago, and it has been very much well known for the royal ceremonies that were held at this magnificent place. Let's watch. Many lavish ceremonies has been held at such beautiful royal palaces of South Korea. And we can see the visitors, many tourists coming to see this beautiful palace and others that are present. We can also see them wearing the traditional Korean attire, which makes it almost like a lavish ceremony taking place and as if a journey back in time, back in history. The Korean Cultural Heritage Foundation is working hard to preserve Korea's cultural heritage and also extending a hand of help and cooperation to different countries all over the world in the field of culture and preserving history. Definitely Egypt is a top priority extending cooperation with the mother of the world. We're still continuing our exclusive and this important visit to South Korea, and on the sidelines of Nile TV International's visit, we are really honored to have with us Mr. Shwa Yong-sheng, who is the president of Korea's Cultural Heritage Foundation. Thank you so much, sir, for joining Nile TV International. And in the first place, we'd love to know more from you, more about the main goals of the Korean Cultural Heritage Foundation.
Korea Cultural Heritage Foundation was founded in 1980, so it has more than 40 years of history, and we are doing a lot of things, including the operation of Korea House and also organizing the Royal Cultural Festival. And all at the same time, we are operating the Korea Traditional Cultural Centers in the Incheon International Airport. And from 1995, we have been working on the development and research of cultural properties and heritage. And by doing so, we did some collaboration work project with Laos for the preservation of temple in Laos in 2010. Also, we have been doing the same projects with other countries like Cambodia, Pakistan, and Uzbekistan. Also, we are working on the ODA projects with such countries for the preservation of cultural heritage. And also, especially with Egypt. In January this year, the Korean government and Egyptian government signed the MOU for the preservation of cultural heritage, and also related to that, there will be the ODA project in Egypt. After the change in the administration in Korea, the presidential office became open to the public in May this year. So we are giving support to the operation, and also we are supporting related cultural activities.
Seoul serves as the country's political, cultural, and economic center, as well as a center for international business. The city has played a key role in South Korea's economic development and has been referred to as the miracle on the Han River. Definitely the Korean Cultural Heritage Foundation is working hard in order to bridge cultures and cross cultures around the world. Knowing more about the program and if there is any sort of cooperation with Egypt and cultural exchanges programs affiliated to the foundation in general.
Actually, we are doing a lot of ODA projects for cultural heritage. For example, from 2014, we are doing ODA project for Angkor Wat in Cambodia and also with Laos. In 2020, we did some project with Uzbekistan for their cultural heritage preservation, and also we have been doing Bandara Culture ODA project with Pakistan. And as I mentioned earlier, in January this year, there was MOU signed between Korea and Egypt. And by doing so, we will start working on the excavation and restoration, preservation of Luxor area in Egypt. And for that project, I guess our foundation will play a key role. And for another ODA project, we we are planning to give our support to DR Congo in Africa, and also we are planning to expand our cultural exchanges with Peru, and also as a NGO for the preservation of intangible assets in partnership with UNESCO, we are doing a lot of activities as well.
Well, sir, we are glad that the foundation is also hosting the Royal Festival, and it comes in culmination as we heard upon arrival that the presidential palaces have been open to the public to visit since May. So this is a great opportunity for cultural activities to be held on the sidelines.
Seoul has been the center of many things for such a long time in Korea. We had the Joseon dynasty of 500 years, and so Seoul has been the center of politics, economy, and cultural heritage of Korea for such a long time. And case in point is, for example, we have five royal palaces from the Joseon dynasty, along with Jongmyo Shrine, Royal Shrine, and Sajik altar, where people make prayers to the gods for a good harvest. So all these palaces and shrine are our great landmarks, and the festival, the Royal Cultural Festival, are held in those places. So that is very meaningful. That it's especially more meaningful because those places have been destroyed after when we were occupied by Japan before. However, those places were restored from 1990 and preserved. And so from 2015, we started giving a lot of cultural activities in restored places. And this year is the 8th year that we have this Royal Cultural Festival, and starting from last year, we have this annual festival became biannual festival. So we have this festival twice a year, in the spring and in fall. So and we have been conducting a lot of great cultural activities like opera and media facade performance in those palaces. And so that means we are utilizing those great palaces as a venue where we can show our history and culture. So this festival could be a great opportunity for us to show Korea's great cultural heritage to overseas visitors. And regarding the opening of Cheongwadae, the presidential office, the presidential office was originally the backyard of Royal Palace, Gyeongbokgung. So it has great meaning in terms of Korea's history. So that is where we can show the history of Korea. And also, once it is open to the public, this will be a great opportunity for us to show and encourage the visitors to experience cultural and historical aspects.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chua Yong-sheng, the president of Korea Cultural Heritage Foundation, for this interview and for further fostering this sense of cultural exchange between Egypt and Korea, and also between Korea and the rest of the world. Thank you so much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, we still continue our tour on Exclusive with Taghreed Hussein and our significant visit to South Korea. Stay tuned. From modern skyscrapers and neon lights to the Buddhist temples, palaces, Seoul is a fascinating mix of old and new. Take it all in from the North Seoul Tower that was built atop a peak in the Namsan Park to the tea houses and the shops there that all give you the taste of Korean flavor. You can further experience here other visits to the grounds and museums and also UNESCO's World Heritage Sites and palaces that are fine examples of authentic ancient architecture. Beyond its dominant status as the best global e-government in the world for 7 consecutive years, Seoul is also leaping forward as a leading smart city in the world based on big data and new technologies of the 4th Industrial Revolution. The team was very honored to visit the Korean Culture and Information Service, was launched in 1971 as an arm of the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, serving as a communication bridge to promote Korea overseas, to shed light on international cultural exchanges, bring already that news back to the Korean audience. We're honored to have with us Ms. Chi-An Lee, the Director of International Tourism, Ministry of Culture, Sports, Tourism. Thank you so much, Ms. Lee, for joining Nile TV International and Exclusive with Taghreed Hussein. Both Egypt and Korea are working hand in hand in order to foster international cooperation in the different fields, and definitely in the field of tourism and culture, we're doing also a lot. And the sky is the limit. What would you say?
For Korean people, Egypt is the country of ancient civilization, and for Egyptian people, Korea is probably the country of economic growth and K-culture. In 2005, the two countries signed MOU for sports and MOU for tourism in 2010. So a lot of cultural exchanges have been going on between these two countries. For Korean people, Egypt is such a great country with magnificent cultural heritage. So before the COVID pandemic, over 30,000 Koreans visited Egypt. For further exchanges between the two countries, I think it will be very important to introduce each other's culture and show the attractions of the two countries to consumers through major channels like Nile TV International.
Seoul is a dynamic city, fearlessly forging a path into the future while faithfully preserving its proud past. Home of the world's fastest internet and some of Asia's oldest urban enclaves, where 100-floor skyscrapers soar above 1,000-year-old Buddhist temples. You find here a harmonious blending of old and new beats at the heart of this beautiful, world-class destination. That was Exclusive with Taghreed Hussein from the heart of Seoul in South Korea, where we have enjoyed this beautiful atmosphere and above all this sense of bond and friendship and strong partnership between the two countries, Egypt and South Korea.